No, let me first try to start by greeting everyone and Happy New Year in terms of our football. I think it's our New Year in terms of football wise. But yeah, having said that, we have been preparing well, and not only for SuperSport. Of course, the first fixture that will come up. We are preparing well for the long marathon that we'll be having, and I'm happy. We are excited to get the league going. And me being here, it will be my first game, like you said. I was excited when appointed, but at the same time remained humbled because if I could be trusted to lead this kind of special group of team that is here, I really appreciate and I thank the chair lady. But yeah, I want to say to everybody, good day.
Thank you, Coach. Let me take questions from the floor. I'll start with Rob Delport in Cape Town.
Coach, Rob in Cape Town, hope you're well.
I'm fine, Rob. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Coach, obviously Golden Arrows had a great season last year, surprised a lot of people. Now that you're up close and up seeing the team, are you surprised by how they performed or have the boys been impressing you?
Rob, if to tell you the truth, is the team that I was competing with at some stage in terms of being on the other side, and we used to analyze them and look at them. You could see it was a dangerous team. Every time you come out against them, you know that we are coming against a good team. So their performance last season, it was not surprising at all. And one would have thought that when you get here, you'll find the people that the guys that they have tasted a bit of success and now they become more complacent. But it's a special group that is here. They are willing to work hard. They are still pushing. They are learning, and then I must say that the guys are really improving each and every day. But I'm not surprised of what they have achieved last season, and they are continuing there. We are trying to make sure that we try and keep it the same or even surpass that. And for us to do that, they know what they have done last season. They were working hard. They were working as a unit. They were a group that is together most of the time. So we are just going to continue doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I'll move on to Karabo.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fatu. Good morning, Coach. I hope you are. Wishing you all the best for the upcoming season. Coach, I think over the last 18 months, you've been a bit of a journeyman. Chippa United, Black Leopards, Chippa United again, and now Golden Arrows. Coach, are you now looking to really cement yourself at Golden Arrows? And luckily, the chair lady is not the one to really pull the trigger. Are you now really looking to settle out in Durban for the next couple of seasons and build what you've been able to build at Bloemfontein Celtics a couple of years ago? And how are you feeling, Coach? I mean, really, how are you feeling going into the next season?
Now, thank you very much. And yeah, of course, it's football. Things that happened to me, they have been happening to a lot of coaches, and it was not something that was new. One thing that I must say is that Golden Arrows find me as a different coach than when I was at Bloemfontein Celtic, at Black Leopard, at Chippa, in those two instances that I was there. What is encouraging is if you can come back and try and be the better person, take all of those experiences that you have encountered along the way, and now, like I'm saying, I'm a better coach than I was before coming to Golden Arrows. I'm looking forward, like I've said earlier, I'm excited. At the same time, I remain humble because I think any coach would have wanted to come and be part of this team because the way that this team is playing, the way that the team is being run. But having been chosen, chair lady making that call to me, it shows that she has done her research, and there are those people that they are seeing that maybe there's something that I have. And going every team, I never planned to stay for a short period, but things happen in football, and then you have to accept it. By the time you become a coach, you know that if things are not going well, football is about results. You must always know that that will happen up until you stop coaching. But thank you very much. I'm feeling okay because of the way the team is. We have been going, and of course, yeah, we got disturbed a bit with the riots there. But as soon as possible, we came up with a plan B, and then we continued with our preparations. But I think we are heading in the right direction, of course. But we'll see. Yeah, we are playing our first. We are getting our first official match, and then let's see how far we are. And the guys are really working hard towards this game. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Let me move on to Robin Duke. I hope your connection is good this time around this season, Robin Duke.
I hope so. Am I clear, the first one?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Well done.
Yeah. Coach, I just wanted to check here. Arrows, since they were promoted back to the PSL top flight, they haven't gone to the semi-final of this competition. For the past two they featured, they didn't go to like in the semi-final. So I just wanted to check, have you thought of that, that you need to hit the ground running, because it's also, this is like a big game for you. And I'm looking at Arrows, for the I think for 5 games against us, they haven't lost. Do you think that also will give you an advantage?
Thank you very much. We take. I didn't even look at that. Like that, you say, Quarters haven't been to the semifinals. No, we are taking this game, and we will just want to go to the next round, and we have to make sure that we know that we are coming against a very good opponent, which is SuperSport, under under the good guidance of Coach Caetano. And we all know that the team with the pedigree of becoming, they adopted the name of, we called club specialists. They every season now and then they get the one trophy there. So we know that we are tampering in their territory, and we need to prepare very well. And we just want to make sure that we go to the next round. We are not even making to look to say, no, we haven't qualified for semi-final in the last, whatever the time that we have been qualified for top 8. But yeah, we are expecting a tough game, but no, the way the way we are preparing, I'm much confident, and I'm feeling confident that we will give SuperSport a run of their money, and hopefully the results will go our way. Thank you.
Coach, let me move on to front runner. Is that Spiwe?
Thank you, sir. Morning, Coach. I just wanted to find out, what did you learn about your team during the KZN Premier Cup? Do you think are there areas that you still need to strengthen before the window closes? Thank you.
Thank you. No, I think, like we say, we are preparing. It was one of our tests that we came across the very same team that we are in the same league with. And if you watch, you look at that game, it's like the Arrows, they never changed anything. There's nobody that is new here, because I didn't come here and want to change, reinvent the whole wheel. There's nothing like that. The team still playing the same way. They're still using the same intensity. They're still mobile the way they were. They're still creating chances. Maybe something that you said, what I have learned is just to make sure that chances, when we get them, we bury them, so that by the time the teams recovers, they find themselves chasing the game, because we have a lot of chances, and you don't convert them, you end up becoming on the losing side, like it happened last weekend. But other than that, the team is preparing well, is still playing the same way, like Golden Arrows way, and nothing has changed much. The good thing is the attitude of the players. They are very cooperative, and they are still hungry, and they are still working hard. That is what is encouraging the plus for us, because they can achieve a lot of things if we come in and we get together. Thank you.
Okay, Pilasande.
Coach, morning. Sorry, Fatu, I'm using Pilasande's account. Mina Tlaxela from Newsroom Africa. You've partly answered my first question. Would you then say that since not much has changed, that you and Coach Ngazi share similar footballing philosophy, so that's why you haven't come in and changed too much? And number two, just with the squad that you have, are there specific positions that you might go to the chair and ask to go to the transfer window to try and fill? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if you're asking me about the philosophy of Coach Mandla, I'm not even gonna dwell too much on it. I'll just say, have a look at how Celtic and Golden Arrows, when they were playing, how are they applying themselves? And I don't know whether it's the philosophy of Coach Mandla, it's the philosophy of Coach Seema, or it's the style of play, or the players' calibers that the club have. And then we have to now adapt and use the same style. That's why I said I'm sure that Lady did her research, and then because when you check the way the team was played this weekend, it was the same Golden Arrows. You watch the same Golden Arrows that played with Coach Manda, that they achieved a lot of things last season together. So I don't want to say claim it and say no. Me, I have a same philosophy like Coach Mandla. I look at the team, I look at the players. This is how we need to operate, and then we can take it from there. What was the other question again? Story pillars.
Are you going to go to the chair in terms of specific positions? Maybe you still feel maybe you need to go to the transfer market to try and beef up.
Thank you. Am I allowed to ask you questions also? I don't know. What is the one thing that Golden Arrows it's known of? Unleashing the talent, unleashing the unknown. There are players that are coming from the ranks at Golden Arrows. We don't know them. They play for the first time, and come the end of the season, the team, those names, people are talking about them. And I believe in that system. I believe in their scouting system. So far, I'm still fine. I don't have any wish that I can go and say, okay, I have this wish. Let the game begins. Let's give these players a chance, the ones that are already assembled here. Let's add them with the old guys that have been here, and then we take it from there, because Golden Arrows has been producing a lot of good players. Why should I come and change the scouting system that they are doing? So I believe that I'm okay with it because I trust their system.
Thank you, Coach. I'll move on to Velile.
Good morning, Coach.
That Velile.
Okay, Coach.
I'm fine. That. How are you, Dad?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Looking
I'm good, Coach.
Looking good in the suit. Thank you.
Yeah. Coach, new beginnings. But I just want to check with you, because you are not the only coach who's moved around. In terms of competitiveness and the benchmarks that were set last season, what will influence this coming season? As you've already said, that you're coming in at Arrows with your own approach, but obviously the model and the blueprint at the club in terms of coming with some fine talent from KZN is always there. But just broadly in the league, when I look at how Arrows performed, I look at how Amazulu performed, what do you think should we be looking forward to this season, especially for KZN teams?
I think there's one thing that we are looking at, Mr. Verile, is to challenge this league and push as far as we can, and make sure that if opportunity presents itself like this coming weekend, let's take a trophy or two and try to reward the cheerleader. And one thing that I'll repeat again that is encouraging is the players, they still look hungry. They are still grounded. They are still working hard. So it shows that they have tasted a little bit of success, and they know that they've seen that working hard, working together, a lot of things can be achieved. And that is what we are looking forward at as Golden Arrows, to make sure that, why not? If we finish position 4 last season, we can push for position 3, we can push for position 2, we can push for position 1. We have to set up the high standards for ourselves, because expectations are there now. But one thing that I can tell you is that Chair Lady did not give me any mandate, and she just said, no, you come to a team that you watched last season. I'm not gonna come here and say no, we're in position 4, go win the league or get this. It's up to you. Go work with the special group that you get that. Go work with my boys there, and then I wish you all the best. And for me, it was the pressure itself without giving me any mandate, because coming into this team after what they have achieved with Coach Mandla last season, he has done a good job with this group here. To me, it says you have to double your effort. You have to make sure that this team does not go down under your name. This group must make sure that either they surpass what they have achieved, or you remain that this consistency is there. And what a way of starting it. Last month and a half ago, I was in the team where I was playing in the playoffs, but look how God operates. The first game of the season, I'm playing the top 8. It shows there's something that people are seeing. There's something that I'm doing right. I just need to get it right and make sure that I implement it, we connect it rightfully with the players, and then we can take this team forward. This team is capable of surprising a lot of people. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. I'll start with Mr. Sobri Shabalala.
I thank you, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
All right. We wish you good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Partly you have answered my question, because I think yesterday, as I was having a discussion with somebody said Golden Arrows was the team that was the most fittest team in the league last season. And then probably could be the training philosophy. And then I've just heard you saying you'll be doubling the efforts. So I'm a little bit worried when you say you'll be doubling the efforts. Are they going to be training more? Because if I remember when I was speaking to Coach Habozon at some point, he once said to me, technology has changed, science has changed. In the past, players could train more and then they would be more effective. But now, because of science, you cannot just kill them. Does that mean that they're going to train more this year?
I remember in my training time with one coach when I stayed at Celtic, we used to train 5 times. I'm sure even the players, they can kill me. That is not going to be the case. When I say we double our efforts in football, your efforts, you double them in so many ways. And one thing that is that I spoke with the chair lady when we were having our meeting, I said to her, I'm not going to bring anyone here because I trust and believe in this technical team that I find here. And that means that Coach Mabuti Kanyeza or Uvila, Coach Kanu is there. And then we have Coach Davis as goalkeeper coach. And we still have our physio team. And then the main man that is conditioning the players, that the arrows that we have seen, Eduardo, he has been doing exceptional well. And the good thing is now we are working nicely together, and because we see science in the same way, because I've done the course of periodization, so we are able to link. We know they are not gonna, it's not about training 10 times or 5 times. Here at Golden Arrows, we are training quality, not quantity. Make sure that the players can make a lot of football actions as much as possible, and they are able to recover quickly so that we can keep the tempo of the match with us, or if we need to lower it, we can. If the game wants us to put it up again, we can still do. Our heart must be able to carry all those. So no, to answer your question, we're not gonna train anymore more than what has been said here, because also you must be wary of, when you come to the institution, you must be wary of we are working with human beings first of all, and the bodies, they take time to adapt. So if you come and you change everything now and say, no, now we are at the beach here, now I see the ocean, I see the ocean for the first time, then I say, no, swimming, the first 3 days is swimming, then it's not gonna work, the body needs to adjust. So I'm happy with the way that our conditioning team is working with the players. So yeah, no, we still train the same, but I'm saying doubling our efforts is make sure that whatever that made us not to be position 3 or 2 or 1, we can change that and double our efforts in making sure that we concentrate, we do things better so that we can achieve a better result. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I'll now move on to Zakele.
Thanks, Fatu. Good afternoon, Coach.
How are you?
I'm good, Coach. Welcome to the Kingdom of the Zulu. Welcome you here. There were talks that my captain CBC McBelieving, a lot of teams have been mentioned around his name, but is he staying? What have you been told on the team? And you almost answered my second one about working with Maputi Kanyeza. How is it like, and how is it going to be his contribution as your right-hand man?
Okay, you said the first one was about who?
CBC, the captain.
Oh, okay. All right, maybe let me tackle the second question first. Coach Mabuti has been a colleague, he's been a friend, and same thing applies with Coach Kanu here. We played together, and Coach Davis, we played together. And there is no right-hand man, there is no left-hand man. We are all coaches here. That is what I told them, that we are all coaches here. We are all discussing, we are all working together. I don't want you to say you are the head coach, you are the first assistant, you are the second assistant. Let's share ideas. And what a way of doing it. Those guys, they are the products of Golden Arrows. They know the culture, they know the players. Coach Kanu, what he achieved with the MDC. I think Golden Arrows was the first team to win it when it started. And you can see that they know the culture, they know the players, and they are comfortable. The players are becoming comfortable whenever they see the faces that they're familiar with. And I can tell you my Zulu already has improved a lot. I'm just looking to give him a nickname in Zulu. I'm waiting. And getting to your second question, I don't want to beat about the bush. CBC is still our player. You saw him, he played last weekend. Somebody was saying, now you put him out because he was, there are rumors around him. No, we are preparing the games. You guys are only watching the games during the week, during the weekend, during the match. We are preparing. The guys have been training. We know who needs how many minutes. We know we are checking our condition of our players, that this one has been trained this way. This one only needs this certain time of minutes, because it was more of a preparation to give them minutes in their legs. So as far as I'm concerned, when I'm talking to you right now, Smith is still our player. He's still here with us. And however, I'm not ruling anything out. This is football. It has happened. And if something happens, don't say Coach Seema put his head on the block. He was pounding the table that no, he's not going anywhere, or no, he's going. No, this is football. And I think that is between the chair lady and the OCBC and whichever that is looking to get his services. So one thing for sure, I'm preparing with CBC. You will see CBC playing for Golden Arrows up until that such time comes when it's official that is leaving. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Rob Delport.
Coach, just to back about the weekend's game, Arrows have a really good record over the past few years against SuperSport. I think the last time SuperSport beat Arrows was 2019. And there hasn't been much changes at SuperSport. Has that helped with the preparations for the game?
Like I've said to you, we are looking at this game as our final, before the final. And history is there, but it does not favor that head start before SuperSport. Like I've told you, that they've got good players that are under guidance of Coach Cayetano that have been doing very well. That is why in the Cups, I think they have done a lot. They have done more than we have done. So we come here as underdogs. We don't want to say, no, we have a good record against them. No, this is their territory. That is why they inherited the name club specialist. So we are looking forward to just to make sure that we get to the second round of this cup, and it's going to be a very difficult game because they have a lot of good players that are there. Like you said, you touched on it. Both teams, I don't think both teams have changed a lot. The core of the teams players are still there. So we are expecting to see the similarity and the competition that will be there. That is always fearful. And then let's hope come Saturday after the match, the results will be on us, and yeah, we will be happy to go to the next round. Thank you.
Okay, we're wrapping up now. Let's go to Andy Siwe, Mali. Andy, can go ahead. Andy, you are now muted. Please go ahead. Okay, seems like he's struggling. Colleagues, are there any other questions before I close? Just by a show of hands quickly, if there's any other hand.
Maybe I can come in just a straight question to the coach.
Okay,
I
Robin
like
Juk,
that straight.
go ahead.
I like
Yeah.
that straight.
Okay, coach, any latest with regards to Makubela, because he didn't take part in the Premier's Cup? You said I think he's got an injury or something. Will he be fit against SuperSport?
No, we still working on it. Obviously, he was training today. The medical team will guide us. He was training today, but there's still certain aspect of the training session that is not taking part with the full team. So we are looking. We will be guided by the medical team. But yeah, he's still here. He's working hard, trying to get better so that he can come and roll with the team. But yeah, no, having him weekends is still gonna be something that the technical, the medical team will have to come and present to the technical team, and then we take it from there. We'll see. But I was happy to see him at training again. He's doing, but of course there are certain parts of the training session that is not taking part. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I'll give Andy another chance. One more chance. Andy, go ahead. Yeah, it seems like there's something wrong on your side. So we're going to have to end it here. Coach, thank you very much for joining us, and all the best for Saturday. And colleagues of the media, thank you once again for joining us, and good day.
Thank you very much, and thank you to colleagues. I don't know, it's a Women's Month. I've never had any question from one of our journalists from the female side. I don't know this conference, please, in that day. We don't want to be in trouble. Happy Women's Month. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. There are actually a few ladies on this call, but probably maybe they are covered. I don't know. Maybe there are questions.
Okay, maybe that
already been
means I
asked.
did
Yeah.
well, because a lot of
Yes.
people were saying you touched partly on what I was going to ask. So thank you very
Yes.
much. It shows that I'm growing.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, guys.